Hello and welcome to this one amazing video. We are going to talk about 2 steps to go from planning to execution with my hair on. The other video I just recorded, it's now called, it was called 11 cool things that I have in my that I have in my habit tracker and in my journal. But then it was as I was continuing to record the video, it was like, okay, I'm going to give you 3 more bonus points that I have. There's like 14 cool things. So if you haven't seen that was a video recorded, and I was just before the video I was just trying to tie the hair, and I was okay, let me record these 2 videos without tying my hair. Like, let the hair be on because I'm going to have a haircut. Let me show my hair off before having a small cut. Again, it's going to be long, but there is going to be let's talk about the topic we have got, like 2 steps to go from planning to executing productivity for introvert entrepreneurs. Yes, I have to fit in introverts and entrepreneurs everywhere because that's what I am, that's what you are. And even if you're not an introvert, it's completely cool. It's going to help you become a better person than yesterday. So that's the whole goal of it. Like, how can you go from planning to execution? Isn't that the whole game? When it comes to introverts, like if you think about it, if you actually start thinking about it, how many incidents you came across where it was an idea you had and you just had to execute it, and how many of you, not just how many incidents were there, how many situations were there where you just couldn't execute it. You wanted to talk to someone, you did not. You wanted to go out, you did not. You wanted to write something, you did not. You wanted to take a note of it, you did not. You wanted to take a photo, you did not. You wanted to take a selfie, you did not. You wanted to go out and meet a friend, you did not. You wanted to eat something, you hesitated, you did not. So this video is going to take you from that. So like, we are not going to talk about that, but then let us flip it over and see how do I operate things so that it will help you motivate. We don't talk about motivation, but it will give you strategy. Okay, how can we go from planning to executing part of it? Now, it all has to do with your trackers and journaling and scheduling part of it. So, in other words, how can you go from tracking things to scheduling part of it? So, 2 steps to go from planning to executing the productivity side. The point number 1 is, if you want to do something, now, if we do it in a bigger level, smaller things will come very easily for you. For example, if you want, it's like do and write. Point number 2 is write into. That's all. If you understand these 2 things, what will happen is the things, if you get these things done properly and precisely, what happens is when you want to take that selfie, you will be eventually subconsciously aware and you will be able to do it very frequently. But we have to work on this one. Point number 1 is do and then write. How did I started my journaling? How did I started scheduling things? Like, we are all scared of scheduling things. Like, okay, I cannot schedule things. Okay, you know why we are scared of scheduling things? One of the reasons, and if you're not scared of scheduling, for great scheduling, this video is not for you. You can watch something else, do something else. But if you're scared of scheduling, what happens is, the reason that you're scared is because you have failed so many times in life that you don't want to schedule and fail one time again. That's the reason we don't schedule things. That's the reason that I don't schedule things, because I know for a fact that, because the statistics and facts doesn't lie. I know for a fact that when Fazal schedules things, Fazal will fail at it. That has been me school days, college days, work days, even in my entrepreneurship journey. When I schedule a deadline, it just doesn't happen. And when I know that it doesn't happen, that's why I don't want to schedule in the first place, because I know when I schedule things, I'm going to fail at it. How can you overcome this monster? Because if you know one thing about entrepreneurship is, you need to be getting things done. You need to actually be scheduling things and getting things done, because if you don't schedule and if you don't get things done, how are you going to progress? And then the problem that we're facing, that's like not even the problem, that's like the battle that you and me are facing. Like, how can we overcome this? Like, how can we win through this? What is the strategy for this? I don't know. I don't have a strategy, but this is something that I have learned doing it, and over a period of time I have seen myself grow. I don't have much experience in this thing. I've got like a year's experience in doing things, and it has been working for me like 2%. What's the 2%? Point number 1, I have loved the journey of tracking. What I started to do way back in June, not even May. May is when I started journaling. June, July were okay. Two 2 months by track, 2 months of journaling. The third month, what I started to do, okay, I'm not great at scheduling. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have daily tasks like this. I'm going to have daily tasks like this. For example, I am going to have a week's column. So this is me in the month of April. So this is me in the month of April. This was not me last year. So that I'm talking about that way. I'm going to give you an example. This is my day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Okay. So what I used to do, it used to be empty. I always kept it empty. When the day ends, what I used to do, I should come open the journal, and what I used to do, okay, what are the things I did today? Like writing, okay, point number 1, point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, point number 4, point number 6. What the crazy hack over here is the first point that we are anyway talking about, do and then write. What happens in this way, you don't have any pressure, you just have to write the things that you have done. Okay, I'm going to put a framework of the course. I'm going to put an outline of the course. I'm going to script the course. I'm going to segment the course. I'm going to, like, whatever you've done for the day, you're not planning it, you're not scheduling it, but you just, okay, these are the things that I did today. It can be like read one page, record one video, script one topic. So that's what I'm asking. Like, whatever you did, which is anyway, it's in the past. You don't have control over it. Okay, I have to meet a friend. I have to take that call. I have to look, whatever that is. I have to set my laptop. I have to set the setup of this one. Which, like, I have to set the bookshelf. I have to set this plant has to be watered. Like, whatever that is. But it has to completely in terms of your business part of it. Like, that has to be the focus of it. Okay, I have to. These are the things that I have already done. So towards the end of the day or in the morning next day, you just write over the things you have done yesterday. That's one part. You write, you do, and then write. Instead of planning and scheduling, you do and then write. In other words, that's called tracking. It's already done. You cannot control it. You just have to track it. And then other words, it's first you. In other words, if you see, you are executing things first, and then writing in your journal or whatever, however you're using it. So what it does is when you look back, you have already done so many things. Now, over a period of time, keep on doing it for a day, a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Keep on doing it. Don't pressure, no pressure. Keep on doing it. Then what happens is eventually you will get a habit of, okay, I am capable of doing 4 things. Now I am going to write one thing as a schedule, and point number 2 is I am going to write it out and then do it. You know what happens is you are transiting from doing and writing to writing and doing. The second point is write and then do it. What happens is don't write 10 things. I did that. I wrote 10 things and I couldn't do it 10 things. It's like, okay, first is a failure again. First is good for nothing again. What we do is we just move from doing to writing. Now writing to doing part of it. Starting with one. Okay, I am going to record this one video today. Towards the end of the day, did I did it or did I not did it? Now you already have an habit of doing it, remember? Now when you have an habit of doing it, when you do it, you check the text box, and when you do it for the first time, it feels good. Next day, do it 2 times, like do 2 things. I plan 2 things, and this one part is called the scheduling part of it. In other words, it's called scheduling part of it. In other words, it's called planning part of it. So in this video, we went from planning, we went all the way from executing things first and planning things first, and planning things second, and then reversing it out, planning things and then executing things. So in other words, you eventually, if you think about it very, very, very precisely, consciously, you are having those fears, competitive. You are the fierce 1 crazy percent of entrepreneurs. You are that one fierce entrepreneur. You're 1% of fierce entrepreneur. You know how and why? Because you were already doing the things that you were not planning, and you were eventually doing it. So that's like the crazy you. That's like the opposite. Like, I'm doing it and then I'm scheduling. How crazy can a person be? Instead of planning and not doing, I'm doing it. How great that is. That was the concept. That was one of the things that has helped me to build who I am today over a good period of 1 year. How can I go from tracking to scheduling? It doesn't come. You cannot get great overnight. It's a matter of failing and struggling and facing challenges and tracking everything. And the goal of this one thing is not to stop tracking a single day. Life is going to get hard. Track those hard things, because the best lessons you learn are from the lessons that you learn in that duration, in that time. When you learn those cool things, what is going to happen is it's going to take you forward. And when you are having those cool moments like successes and money and like that, that will be a reflection of how you reacted on what are the things you learn in these days. So one of the core principles, the rules that I have for my trek, like it cannot be for you, but think about it. If you can even have it for you, it's going to be great help. Is no matter how hard life gets, no matter what challenge you're facing, don't stop tracking, don't stop scheduling, don't stop scheduling. If you forget about scheduling, don't stop tracking things. Because when you start tracking things, even if it's the worst day of your life, what is going to happen is you're going to learn something out of it. It can be something about you, something about the other person, something about the other business, something, it can be anything about it. But when you learn those lessons, and okay, if someone is doing very bad to you, you can look at, these are the things that's in him, not in me, in her, not in me, in that one person, not in me. And I don't want to have those do that. Like when someone talks very rudely to me when I'm going to a shop, I'm like, okay, these are the qualities that is not supposed to be there in my business. No, an employee doing that one behavior is like that employee one has not to be, it shouldn't be a part of my community. Second, if that person is there inside the community, is something lacking in me. Okay, I need to fix that first. That's what happens is, like when you're tracking things, learning things out, being an observer, like we all are as introverts, and producing the best of the world. That brings us to the conclusion of this one short video in the day. I was planning to keep it short, but then it went all the way 12 minutes. Short video. Thank you so much for making this one video. The topic of productivity. Go enjoy the process. How can you go from planning to execution? Is you execute first and then go plan things out. That brings us to the conclusion of this video. Thank you so much. I am going to see you in another exciting video with my hair tied. Okay, see you there.